Hello everybody and welcome back to Black Ops Cold War. As you may have noticed, immediately right out the gate, other than the fact that the game, I'm not using one of my normal characters, I am on a new account. Now, I'm not going to be doing anything to take advantage of the way matchmaking works, don't worry. I'm doing this solely for the sake of doing two things. One, I want to kind of show off the idea of doing the entire dark matter or dark aether grind again. I want to entertain that idea because I have been itching to grind camos in a game that is traditional zombies. That isn't Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4. Not saying I don't like either of those, but I wanted to do something that's going to be more traditional and closer to probably what we're going to be getting with Black Ops 6. And two, I wanted to show what it's like to basically, if you were to be playing Black Ops Cold War in 2024 or post-launch, what exactly it's like trying to play. So obviously, I did play a little bit, just enough to unlock custom classes. It's really all I really did. Right out the gate, the first thing you're going to notice is, obviously the unlocks are very limited. Like camos, obviously, just generally you unlock those anyway. But like, otherwise, like obviously I have no unlocks. You've been very little, no matter what. Obviously, you have the shop with all that stuff, with all the weapons you can unlock. Obviously, I'm not going to be paying any money on this because there's no point in me spending money on a secondary account that's basically only for this video purposes. As for what it's like underneath all this, obviously you have all of your prestige challenges still. And you'll be able to unlock these as you play. Basically, just by playing normally, you can still unlock all of your seasonal challenges and all of your icons. Obviously, challenges are still the same like they were before. Stats, obviously, the main difference is going to be, obviously, here, you have no calling cards. You have to re-unlock all of them. But intel, obviously, you could still unlock all of the available intel from the Onslaught on all the way up to Season 6. Obviously, you have to unlock all of the stuff in the music player again, because... yeah. Just to unlock all of them, so... Interesting that all of them are still, a lot of them are still available. It's kind of interesting. Interesting that it actually does give you access to some of these. Even though I haven't done all of them yet. Obviously, Cinematic Archive is just the normal stuff that's been here. A little annoying that they aren't all here. Obviously, Prestige Shop once you get there. Technically, this is the current Prestige system because obviously it is tied to Vanguard. But then obviously you have the old system as well. And then obviously you have Prestiges here. Trying to think of what else I wanted to cover. Oh, right. Weapons. So you're probably wondering mainly about the DLC weapons. So, obviously, there is a lot of DLC weapons in this game. If we go we'll start all the way at the ARs, because that makes the most sense. For ARs, our DLC weapons are the Groza, the FARA 83, the C58, the EM2, the Grav, and the Vargo 52. You can obviously see what all of the different challenges are. They're all reasonably unlockable in zombies. They're just, some of them are a little bit harder than others. SMGs, we go down, we have the MAC-10, the LC-10, the PPSH-41, the OTS-9, the Tech-9, the LAPA, and the UGR. Attack rifles, similar deal, we have just the Carv-2. For LMGs, we have the MG82. For snipers, we have the ZRG 20mm. And then we have the Swiss K31 pistols. We have the AMP-63 and the Marshall. Shotguns, we have the Street Sweeper, and we have the 410 Ironhide. No new DLC launchers. For melee weapons, this is where we have a lot of them. Sledgehammer, Wakizashi, E-Tool, machete, baseball bat, mace, cane, sai, battle axe, hammer and sickle, scythe. And then special weapons, we obviously have that one, but then you have the R1 Shadow Hunter, the ballistic knife, and the nail gun. All of these are reasonably obtainable, in my opinion. This one is the only one I'm really a little iffy on. But then again, it's 12 total, not like overtime. A lot of them are basically just like this one's probably the hardest one. In my opinion, this is probably the hardest one. And then lastly, you obviously have all of your upgrades. You obviously need to unlock everything, but then you also have to go to your skills and upgrade all of these again. So obviously you can see there that I only have one Ethereum crystal. Personally, if you're going to be playing this for the first time, I 100% would say go for Juggernog, if only because the benefit of armor duration increased by 25, health increased by 100, and then instead of going down a little bit, armor speed and health just to 1. I think that is a little bit more of a, I think that's probably the best one. If not that, once you unlock Quicker by level 18, go with this as well, because you get the benefit of the basically second wind. When you go down, if you kill a zombie with your pistol, you can get back up. Now, as for overall everything else, obviously you have to worry about stuff like the fact of, oh, you have, well, one, you can get easy blueprints from doing the onslaught containments. I will say that as an option if you want to go for those. Obviously, not all of them are that great, but obviously you could go for doing that. And then obviously you have all of your normal options when it comes to solo. Obviously you have the different solo, first person advanced start, solo advanced start, first person solo, and then all of the normal maps. You have D Machina, Fire Z, Crank 2, which is, I think, glad they actually do have a little fun mode that it's only available on D Machina and Fire Z, sadly, but you have Outbreak, Outbreak Survival, which is basically just hardcore Outbreak, Outbreak Collapse, which is the Halloween mode that they basically added, where it's basically like kind of collapses in, and you have to basically get in and out, get out type thing. It's actually decently fun if you're interested in trying a little bit more of a challenge once you get leveled up. Mauer Toten and Forsaken. Obviously, for private, that's the only really way you can do Onslaught. Like, that's honestly, in my opinion, this is the easy way of doing Onslaught, is just do private and do it solo. Yeah, so you have obviously a whole different bunch of stuff. Honestly, doing these aren't that hard. It is a bit of a slog to go through all of them, but it is doable. What we're going to do is we're simply just going to play a little bit of D Machina. I know I did D Machina for the video that I did on my 10-year, but mainly this isn't really necessarily about the gameplay. It's more or less just talking about the stuff you can do and the overall experience at level 1. And again, entertain the idea of maybe grinding out Dark Aether again. I don't know if I'm not necessarily it's not an original idea to basically restart your account, but I'm not actually on a different account. I'm on a different account. Like, I'm on a unique account that's bound to a secondary email that I have. So it's not like I'm on my main account and I've managed to find a way to reset everything. I'm just on a second account. I don't plan on, like I said, I don't plan on doing any public matchmaking with this. Mainly this account was always used for stuff that is basically like, how do you unlock weapons in Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2, Vanguard, Cold War. This is basically just all the alternative stuff. So this account has launched this game before. Also, another thing you do, I recommend upgrading, is your melee weapon. Because when you do upgrade it, you actually will get the Bowie knife early on, so you can easily one-hit melee everything past round 1. Oh, another thing that's obvious is you may notice if you're a modern zombies player on Cold War and you've completed all the Easter eggs, your weapon will start off purple. Mine only starts off as common or loadout tier because I haven't completed all the Easter eggs and I haven't made the pact yet. I do plan on wanting to do all the Easter eggs with this account. Not only to make the grind for Dark Aether easier, but because I think it'll be fun to try and challenge myself to do all the Easter eggs solo, because I haven't done that in a long time. I think the hardest one would obviously be the Outbreak Legion Easter egg. doing it solo, because it's not necessarily that they're hard, it's that they're tedious, and I have very out of practice as well. So there's that. Obviously, I'm very excited for Black Ops 6 Zombies, because there's going to be a lot going on. There's going to be a lot going on with that. I'm very excited to see what we have, what's in store. Again, I kind of did my wish list video to kind of talk about what I want. I do hope, and I want to basically touch on, I do hope we get a default, like, idea of, like, oh yeah, you can start with a starting pistol in this, right? You can. But I do want them to do a thing where you can either start off with a specific loadout that you choose, or you can essentially have it be a pistol, and then you have to, and you can just go to, like, let's say, we go over here, let's say this Rampage Reducer is your loadout. You just walk over, hold X to grab your loadout, and then you can just go. But no matter what, you start off with a pistol, and whether or not you choose to grab your loadout is up to you. You can select a loadout at when you start, that way you at least have... That way you know what you're going into if you decide to pick it up, but no matter what, it will always be an option, you know? The other big thing is, obviously I mentioned it in the 10-year, I do want Easter egg songs, or I did mention it in the wish list, but I also really wanted to do it again here. I do want Easter egg songs to return, because I think they are, in my opinion, my favorite thing about this. Just because they're good, man, alright? They're fun little things to constantly add in. What's actually funny is normally I would grab Quick Revive right here, but since it's not upgraded, no point right now. Other than the health regen, but still. And also the old point system. Well, I know that's probably not going to come back, and that's a pipe dream. I do want the hit base point system to return, because I think that's a lot more fun than the XP, basically. Just not grab that nuke. Because that nuke will be a bit annoying. And I will say this, I do think I like the upgrade system. I'm very weird on it. I like the upgrade system in theory. I just mainly want a way of, if I'm bored, resetting my stats. Not because I like doing the grind over and over again, Black Ops 4, but I like the idea of it, maybe not resetting my stats, but at least resetting my progression. So that way I can easily get things that I wouldn't normally have access to. Oh, that's actually really good.
I will take this for sure.
A melee weapon is really good, especially since we got one like the Psy, with that increased jump, in-air mobility. Getting, my best advice, again, when you're playing, is when you do get weapons, I always say hit the mystery box, because hitting the mystery box is good. But if you're grinding out camos, get a melee weapon from the box, if you can. Because that will help early game if you don't have Bowie Knife. And then, obviously, you get the XP for getting kills with from the box weapons. And you also get, easy more points from getting kills with melee weapons, because you get, if you notice, unless you get a headshot, you only get 90 points. If you get a headshot, 115. If you get a melee kill, well, if you get a melee kill and don't die, it's 115. But yeah, you get the idea. Obviously, if I do play with others, I'm not gonna be using this count unless it's like someone else is at the same level, so that way I feel it's a little bit more fair. But mainly gonna be doing it for my own enjoyment. I didn't get the greatest melee weapon for this, because I did get one that has a little bit of a short range, but still better than nothing. And I don't know, I can't remember if every map has this, but there is a free Juggernaut Easter egg on this map. I do recommend, if you're going to be grinding camos, do mainly this map. Because I'm not saying the other maps are bad, this map is the easiest for grinding out camos. Because it is the most simple, it's the most basic, and I think, in my opinion, it has the most easiest way of setting up for grinding, with the exception of maybe Outbreak for certain camos. Like if you're going for the kills without taking damage, go with Outbreak, because you can easily get kills from a long distance without having to worry about taking damage. Well, with this you have to worry about trying to run around circles. But if you're using melee weapons, it's a little bit different. But if you're grinding out everything else, go with this map or maybe Firebase Z. I say this one's a little easier, because unless you're using a long-range weapon like ARs, LMGs, stuff like that, there's no point in doing the larger maps, because unless you're going for the Orda for the mini-boss kills, then, yeah, there's no real point. Obviously, Frost Blast ain't the greatest weapon to unfortunately have as your upgrade. Or unfortunately, it's not the best thing to have as your upgrade. But if you are looking for some advice, I would recommend going with Ring of Fire or Aether Shroud for early on. Obviously, for camos, I recommend Aether Shroud. For Easter eggs, Ring of Fire. And then if you're doing Outbreak with a group, I recommend at least one person has Frenzy Guard or Tesla Storm. And if you're doing a camping strategy, obviously you have the one, I forget what it's called. Oh, God. Toxic Growth. I had to look it up. Healing Ore is also good. Mainly the keep all perks in the decay meter is mainly the big one. And then the Revives Downed Allies once it's upgraded. Energy Mine isn't that great. Frost Blast isn't huge. I think Tesla Storm is having the most fun because it does do a lot of damage and it gives you movement speed boost. But Aether Shroud does the same thing, so. Obviously, an important thing is you want to make sure you're leveling up the weapons, because as you level them up, they will get more access to more camo unlocked, which means you can grind them out. And I'm gonna straight up say it, I do hope that the camo grind is based on levels. Because I do like the idea of basically having there be like some sort of mastery. I know a lot of people will say, well, Advanced Warfare didn't do it, why should it be like this? Because I do like the idea of having challenges be locked way behind levels, because it does, again, sort of mean you're getting the progression. I do think the max level should not be when you unlock the final camo. I think what they did with Modern Warfare 3 is really good, where it's like the final camo is how you unlock it, but...
What happened? Satellite malfunction? Data suggests they traveled to the other dimension.
So now that we've done that, I'm going to do the Easter egg for the... And also, a big thing if you have melee weapon, is you can melee with your main weapon out. That's the reason why I say having a melee weapon is good, because you can easily still just use it without having to go like this. So if you have something like the ray gun, let's say, obviously there's no camos on the ray gun, but if you have something like a ray gun, then maybe in your third slot you have this, you can use your ray gun to shoot things, and then if they get close, you can melee them. The only thing about this Easter egg is that after round 10, the orbs for this Juggernaut Easter egg disappear. So as long as you get down here and do this before round 10, you should be fine. I always like to try and make sure I do it before like round 5, 6. Obviously we're here on round 7 doing it, but it's fine. Another big thing is going to be two different things. After you turn on the power, the first round is always going to be dogs. After you turn the next round after that will always be a megaton. So be careful and remember that always happens. Obviously, it's mainly for new players. Obviously, if you've had any experience with zombies, you don't really need to know that. I'm trying to think of other things to basically to sort of start off with this grind, because I'm basically taking this all from my own experience. Obviously, Coffin Dance Easter egg for Jug does give you a free random weapon too, so you could get lucky and maybe get a weapon. The weapon you're working on at a higher tier. Something I do recommend doing is, while I don't have it active right now, I recommend making a blueprint of all of your weapons with attachments that you want. Because if you just rely on doing it through Ivan here, I almost forgot his name, you have to rely on the reroll attachments. It's not the worst idea, but it can be very annoying to deal with because of the fact of you could get some really good fast extended mag, but it has a 4x scope on it. I recommend making blueprints of all the weapons with the attachments you want, and if they don't have attachments, just make them base, and that way, if you ever pick one out of the box, it at least it has nothing on it. Obviously, as you level it up, do what I do, just put the attachments on here, and let's go from there. Personally, for almost all of them, I don't like pistol. I don't like having sights on anything, but that's obviously personal preference. Obviously, next time you spawn, the only way for me to respawn is if I end the game. But if you are playing multiplayer, an idea that you could do is, if you want to try and do multiple weapons in one game, is spawn in with the weapon you want, down yourself, let your or buy a weapon off the wall, down yourself, basically at the end of the round, and then let your teammate pick up the weapon that you left behind. I'll see. Here's the AK. Here's what I mean when I say you get a random weapon. You can get an AK with an extended mag, but it has that little 2x scope on there. I'm gonna be working on the M1911, so it's kind of pointless for me. Here's the Megaton. I recommend, no matter what, even if weapon's not upgraded, put dead wire on it, because it will help deal with that Megaton a little bit faster. Carpenter may not seem that good, but much like in Black Ops 4, it does repair your shield, or in this case, armor. Just gotta make sure you're always on the move with the Megaton around. He can't, I believe he's a 2-hit down right now for me. I also, again, I recommend upgrading your melee weapon for one reason, another reason. As you upgrade your melee weapon in the skills tree, you get the ability to heal on melee hit. So for those melee weapons, as well as one of the wonder weapons, you actually will heal on hit. Not necessarily on kill, on hit. So me doing something like that is good. And a little tip as well, if you have a camo that you like and you want to keep it in the Pack-a-Punch, or you want the Pack-a-Punch camo, melee it. It will let you keep the camo that you're currently on. Ouch. However, I'm going to make my job a little bit harder when it comes to grinding camos. I'm going to only be upgrading the weapons to start. I think I have to Jug and Quick Revive, because those are just convenient. Oh, crap. I don't want to die. Now, obviously, if you have spent money on this game at all, there are some weapons that come with built-in AAT damage, but not the AAT itself. Basically, meaning that it will have, like, for example, one of the words, language, brain. One of the blueprints for the XM4 or the Commando is like a electric-themed Mastercraft that will by default have dead wire attached to it in terms of the damage, but not the actual AAT that you can see on the side of my gun there. A little, like, weird laser sight looking thing. But yeah, I recommend at least, if you are gonna spend money on this game, which I don't know why you would, do stuff like that. Like, get weapons and mastercrafts that you think look cool. Don't do what I did on my main account and just buy everything.
Scanning for decompressive isotopic estrangement machine.
Also, I don't know why I grabbed that. I am going to be exfilling immediately after. I'm basically doing the 11 rounds and then exfilling. Basically to give you an idea of how I set stuff up. Obviously, I do plan on mainly doing this on stream or on recording. So, I might be doing a couple of them off screen. Mainly the harder stuff like snipers. And stuff that requires you to play a lot of Outbreak. But Easter eggs mainly I'll be doing on camera. Grinding camos, and obviously unlocking the thing I'll be doing on recording. And if what I'm going to be doing, if I'm doing this at Black Ops 6, if I want to. I basically did this just so I have the ability to, not necessarily to do it, you know? Will I do it? Probably. Am I going to complete it? Probably not. I still want to finish the UGR and the Scythe in my main account, since those aren't done yet. Everything else is done, though.
VIE signal detected.
We can just unlock custom 6. Obviously, we can't edit it right now, but we did unlock it.
Raptor 1 is nearby, strike team. Exfil window is short, so take it
Now let's see
down.
if I can exfil. I guess I'm gonna do anything. It's gonna be this. 54 is when you go buy more selves. Alright.
Machine ready.
Oh yeah, one major thing as well. Up on the roof of the Nocturne Totem building, there is the one of his location is. You can access it in the Dark Aether early to gain access to it, but after 10 rounds have elapsed for your, since turning on the power is when it will appear in the main map without needing the Dark Aether. You can access Dark Aether by finding one of those portals that you may have saw right outside the power room. Those spawn in as part of the Easter egg. You can use it as a way to get into the Dark Aether early.
Raptor 1 has reached out for stuff. Let's hook. Soviets have identified our
I recommend monkeys if we're going to be doing exfils, and at least one good support like either the Death Machine, the War Machine, the Flamethrower, or a cruise missile. Oh, dang it. It's not the greatest, but it is good. It is easy to do. But yeah. So yeah, obviously you get, I believe you get Ethereum crystals every exfil attempt. So every 10, I think it's every 5 rounds after round 10, you get Ethereum crystals. The higher rounds you go, the more higher tier stuff you get. Outbreak, you get higher tier stuff after you complete so many regions. And you get more for completing exfils, I believe, as well. 5, 6... So yeah, basically, as you will see here, main thing is, obviously, leveling these up is the hardest thing in general, because XP isn't easy. But, yeah, that being said, again, thank you guys for watching this. Just this proof of concept idea, basically. Just leveling up weapons and trying this whole idea again is something I want to do for the sake of just trying to have something fun to do in the background. I'm gonna go record another video for Thursday. I'm not gonna spoil what it is, just know it's going to be similar to the video that I did on Monday, or yesterday. For me, it's today, but I record these in advance because I don't like doing day of. I like doing day before, or at least maybe a little bit in advance. It's gonna be similar to the video I did on Monday, in terms of the game type. There's your hint. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day, buddy, and stay safe.